Hey everyone, X World. In this video, I'll be going over my theories and thoughts on the Whole Cake Island Thailand arc. As I was getting this video together, I realized this should have been my first video. After all, I made this channel to share my thoughts and theories, not so much to do reviews. I was hoping to get this video out before the Scalation of Chapter 839 was released, as I was worried that the chapter would make me have to change some things around. Unfortunately, time was not on my side, but luck seemed to be, as the chapter did not weaken any of my points, but actually strengthened a few. But this is something I will get into later. Right now, on to our topic, the Whole Cake Island arc so far. Let me first start off by saying I'm loving the Whole Cake Island arc in the Year of the Sanji. It has been excellent to me, some of Oda's best work. But anyway, when the crew split up and Luffy was taking a crew to sneak into Whole Cake Island and retrieve Sanji, I had two initial thoughts. First, there was no way Luffy's plan to sneak into Big Mom's territory and was going to succeed. We were not going to go to Whole Cake Island and not have a confrontation with her or her crew. The second thought was, there's no way Luffy can beat Big Mom, especially without most of his crew. And even if he had the strength to do so, it's not something that would happen in One Piece. It would be such a big accomplishment defeating Yonko that it would raise his bounty and the crew status and everything. They would be on a completely different level, and that's an accomplishment that I feel all the Nakama needs to be there to share. These thoughts led me to believe, although there will be a confrontation with Big Mom's crew, as we've already seen, that Big Mom herself would not be the final villain of this arc. This is confirmed more and more throughout the arc. One, Luffy is struggling with one of her commanders, Cracker. We don't even know if this is one of her strongest commanders. This could be the weakest one, which means there could be two more people with power levels in between Crackers and Big Mom, and Luffy is having to go all out against Cracker. There's no way he's going to beat the other two. The other thing is, we're seeing things from Big Mom that makes us wonder if she is as bad as we was originally made to believe. First thing is her territory, Thailand, is a refuge for the many races of the world that are considered outcast or inferior by the world government or celestial dragons, and are usually made as slaves, or I don't think they've killed any off, but I don't think they would be against it. After all, celestial dragons they pretty much do whatever they want. So, her making this refuge, although they pay a tax to be in the refuge, which is a portion of their life, to me is not a bad thing. Because although they pay a portion of life, we've seen how the Celestial Dragons treats their slaves. It is way crueler and way harsher. We watched the guy in Sabaody Archipelago was willing to die in order to escape being one of their slaves. So I believe they're much better off giving a portion of their life. Me personally, if I had the choice, I would choose to give up a portion of my life than to live as a slave to one of the celestial dragons. The other thing that we've learned about Big Mom is her dream. The dream that she wants Caesar Clown to help her with, which is to make all her family the same size so that they can sit down and have a dinner. This is another instance in which a dream that's not evil, a dream that is perfectly good. it's again something I don't think Luffy would be against. I feel that, again, I'll say it again, I feel if he wasn't hell bent on becoming Pirate King, he would serve under Big Mom. Originally, I was under the impression that the Straw Hats would face off against the Vinsmokes. The next choice, if you're not going to take on Big Mom, you take on Sanji's family, who's holding him hostage and forcing him to have the wedding. As we learn more about the Vinsmokes and Germa, it's clear their goals are more the goals of villains, way more than Big Mom's. Their goals would even seem to have clashed with the ideology of Big Mom, which I think with the Vinsmokes we're dealing with a lot of ideology. Dealing with them. One is Zeph's ideology, the ideology of Sanji's biological father versus the ideology of his father, the guy he considers a father, the man who raised him, which is Zeph. I think that is going to come into play in the future. The Straw Hats defeating the Vinsmokes would be a justification of Sanji choosing piracy over royalty, as it will prove that his crew, his Nakama he chose, is stronger than the family that he hates. But I feel after all the interactions we've had with the family, and Sanji with his family, that ideology of his two fathers is more important, is more of a personal issue that he needs to handle himself. I feel he needs to take down the strongest member of his family, proving that he is stronger than all of them, and that would be what will prove Zeph's ideology over Judge's, which I think is something he needs in order to move on and rejoin the crew. He's been Sanji has been real not himself. We've seen a different Sanji since he have arrived in Germa. Although we've seen him, although we know he has the bracelets and stuff, he still seems, he's not Sanji. He's not the Sanji we know. So I no longer think Germa is going to be a Straw Hat thing, but a Sanji thing. This led me to believe that, and due to certain other events in the arc, that Capone would be the final villain that Luffy faces. And this is the one that right now my mind is set on, that it will be Capone. I believe it was evident already that he had some plan to take on Big Mom when he shot Peckham's off the cliff and Peckham's told him not to underestimate her. I don't think that was in reference to if she finds out that what he did to Peckham's that she would have a problem with it, more as it was that he has a plan to go up against her, and Peckham's was warning him that he is going to lose. Whether he's in a league with the Vinsmokes or not is something up for debate. I've seen it debated so many times throughout the community. I do believe that he is, but I don't have enough solid info to put together a decent theory yet. There's still holes in it. But either way, for the sake of time, I'm not going to go any further into a possible alliance with them. This video was about the whole Cake Island, the whole arc, not just their possible alliance. Instead, I'm going to discuss the reasons why Luffy would fight Capone. If Capone was after Big Mom, well, how does this concern Luffy? And why would he get involved? Well, I think the strongest reason is if Capone is allied with the Vinsmokes, as I believe, then he would be against them getting defeated, because that would then ruin his plans, which would then make him a barrier for Luffy to get Sanji back. Because like I said, I don't see Sanji leaving to rejoin the crew until his issues with his family is taken care of. Another reason could be Puddin. We see that Luffy was on good terms with Puddin, And we all know when someone helps Luffy, Luffy never turns down in favor of helping them. So if things were to come to a head, Capone and the Vinsmokes, or Capone by himself had a plan that it was succeeding, and it caused Pudding's family to get taken out, basically Big Mom's family. Although Big Mom is Luffy's enemy, if Pudding asked him to, I believe Luffy would save Big Mom. And like I said, if they got to know each other, Big Mom and Luffy, they would be people who could roughly see eye to eye. They wouldn't agree on all issues, but their ideologies are similar. Where she wants to have a place, a refuge for all the races, and Luffy has constantly throughout this protected everyone's dream, freedom, and, well, their happiness. That's who he is. He believes everyone should be free. And we also got to see in Amazon Lily, although at the time that Boa and her sisters were his enemies, that when Sandasania's clothes got burned off, Luffy jumped on her back to protect their secret. Although at the time they were his enemies, he has a certain code of honor that wouldn't let him take that easy victory and let the mark on their backs be revealed and have their reputation, everything ruined. But I'm going to move on from the potential villains of the arc and go into the Straw Hats, the members of the crew that are currently with Luffy right now, their potential roles in this arc. First, I want to start with Chopper. I want to start with Chopper because I believe he has the biggest role in this arc. I believe he will cure Big Mom's illness. She has an illness which causes her to go on a rampage, to go into a state where she craves a certain food. And until she gets the food, she basically goes on a rampage, destroying anything, not recognizing her allies or even her own kingdom. She even killed her own son during one of these. I feel it has to be more than a coincidence. There's a doctor who not only has a dream to cure all illness, but transforms into a form that he used to not be able to control, in which he would go on rampages and attack his allies. I believe it's too coincidental that he is going to find a way to cure her, especially with Caesar on the island. I believe Caesar might play a part in this, as he's trying to invent something for Big Mom. That he might also play a part in helping Chopper cure her. But I definitely believe Chopper will cure her disease. Next, I want to talk about one of my favorite characters in the One Piece world that's with Luffy right now. And that would be Soul King Brook. Now, I originally thought where we were going with Brook was that he would end up knowing members of Germa. That he might give us history on Germa, or we sort of got history of Germa through Vito when with Sanji. But I thought some of that would come from Brook, or Brook would have had an encounter with Germa, or he would face off possibly against Sanji's father, who would be weaker, who wouldn't end up being the strongest member of Germa. And that roughly he had faced possibly Sanji's father before. Of course, Brook is almost 90, so it's a chance that he has met or faced him before. And this still could be the case that he has history with Germa. But I think now the more interesting thing to see is going to be when the skeleton with the enhanced soul versus the woman with the soul fruit. I don't know what's going to happen when him and Big Mom powers eventually clash, but I feel they're going to, and I feel it is going to be a very interesting moment. That just leaves the last straw hat that came along with Luffy, Nami. Now I'm hoping that Oda, in his greatness, don't make Nami's only purpose for being on this island, for coming with Luffy, was having Lola's baby card. I'm hoping she gets some true fight shine before this arc is over. That's really all I have for the Whole Cake Island arc. But before I end this video, seeing as this arc is a part of the Yonko saga, I want to briefly touch on the 4 Yonko. I'm not including Blackbeard in this, who is currently a Yonko, but instead his predecessor Whitebeard, as this doesn't necessarily, as my thoughts, as what I'm about to say next, does not pertain to Blackbeard. The thing I want to discuss about the Yonko is the lack of information we have on their origins. We know they rule the New World. We know that we know that at least 3 of them has territory. I don't ever think we can confirm if Shanks had territory or not. If I'm wrong, someone feel free to correct me. But what we do not know, that I think is very important and will have and can be very impactful, is their origins. We don't know how any of them rose to power, and when did they rise to power. How did each of them come to be in their positions? Did they all arrive at this roughly the same time? Was there always 4? Now, when I brought this up somewhere else, someone once said the idea that they're the runner-ups to Gold Roger. They're the guys who could not go any further than Gold Roger. They're the runner-ups, basically. Gold Roger's the only person that went further than them and became Pirate King. And they're the people who could not go that far. They could find Raftel. This could be true for 3 of them, but then there's Shanks, who was on Roger's crew. He can't consider to be a runner-up, because even if he didn't go to Raftel with Roger, which I'm not 100% sure one way or another, did he or didn't he? Does he know where Raftel is? Could he get back there? But I'm sure you couldn't consider him a runner-up as he was a member of the crew. I'm sure he didn't form his crew to probably after Roger was dead. Which brings up, was there 3 Yonkos before Shanks? How did he earn the 4th spot? Was there someone else there before him? Was Roger a Yonko and Shanks took his spot? Do Shanks have territory? If Roger wasn't Yonko, did he have territory? The questions I feel about them and their origins go on, and I hope they're answered before we leave the Yonko arc. Well, I just wanted to drop that little bit of curiosity I have before I go. But thank you for watching. I believe I've rambled on enough. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, or if you found any of it informative. Subscribe if you like what I'm doing here, and until next time, may your journeys be full of awesomeness.